And I want to just real fast remind you, keep yourself muted unless you have questions or you're asking Mr. Martin questions. Keep your cameras on. Hopefully, as more join, they won't interrupt too much when I let them in. But I'm excited that Mr. Martin's here tonight to share with us some information on like hacks, tips, and tricks with the internet. But I'm not really good at introductions, and I think that our presenters do a much better job sharing what they're going to talk about. So if you want to share a little bit of maybe about yourself and what you're going to share with us tonight, thank you so much for being here, Sam.
All right. Well, hey, everybody. Thanks for having me. Good to see several friendly faces. I wish I could see Jake's friendly face, but I'm sure he'll hop on whenever he's ready. My name is Sam Martin. Most of you, well, I guess everybody already knows me. So my job is to work at a middle school. While I'm at we're getting closer. While I'm at the middle school, I work with teachers. I'm an academic coach, so I work with teachers on being better teachers. But also, because of my background, I am also the TC, or the technology coordinator for my building, which means I'm in charge of making sure all 610 of our students have a working Chromebook. Plus making sure all 55 of our staff have a working laptop. And that's not just the hardware of the machine, but also I have to make sure that they have access to all their programs, that they have access to their passwords, that what they're trying to get into is something they can get into. When things don't go right, they come calling and I get to try and solve the problems. But I'm also in a position that position also puts me in between working with students and teachers trying to teach in creative ways, and students trying to learn and connect in many different ways. So I tried to do this presentation a little while back, and due to technical difficulties, ironically, it didn't work on my end. But now that I have a laptop and camera that are working really well, hopefully the only thing that'll get in my way are maybe my barking dogs or my little boy playing video games. So all that in mind, let me go over a little bit of what I'm going to cover. Before I go any further, Sandy, am I able to share my screen? It's enabled. Okay, great. So not knowing a whole lot of what the people in this group are able to do or interested in, I decided to just make a brief agenda of some general computer items that I think any given kid, one moment please, any given kid should be able to do. Almost all of these revolve around the Google Suite, and the Google Suite is the Google group of programs and products that are used, and a lot of them are very familiar to and similar to Microsoft items. You're probably very familiar with some of these. If this is old news, I'm sorry. I'm gonna try and move as quickly as we need to, just for the orientation. Hopefully, I'll show you a few new things. Let's see, screen share. A few new things that you maybe haven't already seen. Can everybody see my screen at this point? My document here, okay. And then after that, there's plenty of room to add in things that you may be interested in, or for me to field questions and try and help you out in learning new stuff that I don't have here. All right, so are we good so far? Everybody, any questions? Okay. All right, so do we have, oh my goodness, these dogs are gonna drive me crazy. Can y'all hear the dogs? Are they loud on your end at all? No? So? Okay, all right. Allie, you got
They're not too distractive.
Okay. So do we have an open chat on here? Okay.
We don't have it open to everyone.
Okay. So I was going to say, if you have questions, one method is to have the chat room open for questions that you can like put it in the parking lot, and then when I get to a stopping point, you can come in. But because we have
They can
such a
do that, Sam.
well, if you want to do that, that's cool. If not, if you just feel comfortable, I think most of these participants feel comfortable just chiming in and say, "Hey, Mr. Sam, I got a question," and that's cool too. Okay, so feel free to unmute and just speak right out, and I'll be glad to take them as they come. Okay, so let's dive right in. So many of you are familiar with Microsoft products like Microsoft Word for typing essays and letters and stuff, and maybe Excel, which is a spreadsheet program which organizes information on a table in columns and rows. You may also be familiar with PowerPoint, where you make slideshows that you would share in a presentation. Well, Google thought these were really great products too, and they decided to copy them and put them out there for free. So instead of having to pay $180 for a copy of these Microsoft programs, they made them for free. But instead of calling them Word and PowerPoint and Excel, they call them Docs for the document word processor, Sheets instead of Excel for the spreadsheets, and Slides instead of PowerPoint. Now I'm going to review those here just shortly. But another feature that is available through the Google Suite is Forms. Google Forms is really great for creating questionnaires, but it can also be used in different ways for creative writing or organizing other information. We're going to talk just a little bit about how you can use G Suite for drawing, or for putting together drawings or JPEGs that you can use in other documents. Sites. Google Sites has a really easy website editor to where you can create and author your own. Hey, it's my daughter Grace. Wave to the crowd. Say hi. Hi. You can make your own website really quickly and easy without much knowledge at all. And finally, as in the G Suite, I'll go through Google Meet, which has also been called Google Hangouts, but it is Google's video conferencing tool. So we'll go over some of that. Some other study tools, things that might be related to working and studying, would be Quizlet, which is an online flashcard program, Flipgrid, and I'll show you an example of that. And that, are y'all familiar with Flipgrid at all? Have you ever heard of it? Okay, so Blake, no. Allie, yes. We got some. Let me see if I can increase my view. Jake and Katie, have y'all ever heard of Flipgrid? Jake, yes. Katie, no. All right. Did we lose one in the process? Looks like we lost a Sylvia. Okay. Oh, she, or is next page? Oh, there she is. I just had to move over. It's one more than my screen would hold. Okay. So, Sylvia, have you heard of Flipgrid before? No. Okay. So it'll be a little bit new for you too. Cool. And then finally, Keep, which is the Google Notes thing. And now, let me also say that all of these are available on a phone platform or even on a tablet platform. So if you're not tied to a laptop or a desktop, you can usually download all of these for free. Most all of these, I don't know about Sites, but all the other ones you can download for free and use them on the go from just about any platform. I will say, if you're not on a laptop, you're going to have to download each of these in the G Suite, the Google Suite, separately. Okay, so you'll have to go and download Docs, and then you'll have to go and download Sheets. And so it seems like a lot, but on my phone, I just have them all in one little folder. I just have one folder on my desktop, my phone desktop, that includes all my Google apps. So they're all in one spot. And I guess that's another big thing to talk about is just organization. And let me hit that again. Organization, being organized with how you use your apps and stuff, being sure you understand how it's important for you to use it. Now, when I have my programs put together, it might be different than how my teammate puts her programs together. But organize them in a way that matches the way you use them. Okay, so get in and explore them and whatnot. But when you're ready, make sure they're where you want them to be. Okay, let's get right in. So I'm gonna open a new tab here. Let me see, open this up. I'll just open a brand new tab. Okay, I'm gonna open a brand new tab. Now, Google.com is obviously like what I'm at now, Google, right? But for each of the Google products, you just put the name of the product first. So I'm gonna type drive.google.com, and that's gonna take me to Google Drive. Now, I pause here because everything else, docs.google.com or slides.google.com, everything else is the product name .google.com. Okay, so if you don't have the link to where you're going, if you're not entirely sure, just try and stick it in there and you'll probably get pretty close. So drive.google.com. Now we go into my drive. So the memory center inside your computer is your hard drive. The memory that stays with your computer, that's a hard drive, right? And then you have a disk drive, or where you used to put in a disk and you'd copy down information and take the disk out, right? That's even what the save button looks like up when you actually save on something. Now you may have like a little memory stick. That's a flash drive, right? So the word drive is repeated here, and you stick that inside of your computer and you download information on it and pull it out. Well, so Drive, Google Drive, is an internet-based drive or place to save all your information. Okay, think about it like your filing cabinet. Okay, so in your Google Drive, you can organize it and you can see all your different folders and things that you put in here. You can organize it in many different ways. You can organize it alphabetically here. You can organize it by who owns the material, when you last messed with it, okay, how big a file it is, the type of file. So you can go through your filing cabinet in many different ways just to figure out what you're looking for. But Drive is more than that, because it's not just a place that holds your documents, it's also a place to create your items. Over here underneath Drive, you see the new button. When you click on that, of course, you have your file cabinet type things like files and folders here, but underneath that, you have your docs, sheets, slides, and forms. If you want something more than that, you obviously just move it down to more, and then it has the next more popular things on here. Okay, so if you want to make a new Word document, you click on Docs and start typing. This is my essay on dogs. Okay, so I didn't title it yet, but if I click on it, it's going to suck up or absorb the first words of whatever I've typed down here. We'll let this stay as it is right now. One great thing about all these online platforms is that you can share them and you can choose how you share them. Right now, I'm the only person that can see this, but by clicking that share button, now I can either type in names of people I want to share with, and then now, as soon as I hit send, she will be able to edit or get on and type, so she can type what. Sandy, I don't know if you're able, but I'm gonna go ahead and make you the editor. I'd like for you to type anything you want on here, just the next sentence. Is that something you're able to do?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm gonna let her go ahead and type on here.
Might take me a minute.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, no, that's okay. I didn't let her know in advance. So the cool thing about this is, you don't have to be in the exact same place to work on something together. I can work with somebody who's across town. I can work with somebody who's across the room. I can work with somebody who's across the country. Right now, I could be typing this essay on dogs, Labrador retrievers, with somebody who lives in Labrador. right? Or I could type in with somebody who lives in Africa right now. My dog ate my homework. Wonderful. And as she types, I can see who is typing. Plus, up here at the top, I can see who else is on this document with me at this moment. There's Miss Sandy's picture. It's highlighted in pink, and that goes with that cursor. So if I ever want to go back and see what was this like before she started getting on and messing with things, I can always click the revision history. And I can go back and see what it was like before she got onto it. So I can go back here. And what was it like at 7:14, just a minute ago? Oh, it wasn't there. And Sandy came on, and I see the part that she added here. So if you want to work with people and see the different parts that they've added, changes that were made when you weren't around, you can easily go into the revision history and revert or change back to any addition you want it to be. Now, this share feature is available to anybody. Oh, where's my document? Oh, I don't want to take a tour, guys. I'm good. I'm the tour guy. This share feature is available on just about every one of Google's products, and that's what made them so cool. I think you can have up to like 25 different people, maybe it's even more, 40 different people editing or contributing to a single document. So regardless of what kind of document that is, that'd be really cool. So that's Google Docs. Works just like Microsoft Word. Also, I can do Google Sheets. Spreadsheets are a great way to organize information. Whether you're doing your finances or you're trying to show, to graph data from science or something like that, spreadsheets are a wonderful organizational tool that are taking just a second to load up here. Let's reload. There we go. Spreadsheet. So sometimes if I want to say organize my bills, I could put in my bills and cable and car and food, whatever you want, and organize my data here. Cable, I don't know what it is anymore. $75, card, $200, food. I don't need a lot. $25, whatever. That's a great way to organize. And then you can add tabs at the bottom. So you can have like different pages in a book, different sheets in a book. This whole thing would be a workbook, and each one would be a sheet. And again, I can share with other people. And also the comment button here, that's a good one. If you want to comment, so like say I want to highlight something, I'm like, hey man, let's add a comment over here. Is this enough to buy good food? Right? And I comment on that. And then so other people can see that it's highlighted here. And when they click on that, they're like, oh, hey, somebody else has something to do. And I think about their question. I can either respond to them or like, hey, I already fixed that problem. They're like, this should be $250. And when I fix it, it goes away. But you can come back and see your history if you need to. Okay, so I've done sheets and I've done docs. Let's go to slides. Now, let me go to the gallery here. Have you guys ever made slideshows for any reason, for school or anything? Katie's a yes. Jake's shaking his head. Sylvia, what about you? Have you ever made a slideshow? Have you ever seen one? You've seen them, okay. Allie, what about you and Jake? Yes? Have you made them before? Okay, cool. Dr. Jimmy, we all know, has not ever made a slideshow. He tried once, but he pulled his hair out giving it a try, and it didn't work out well for him.
Isn't that when you laid the thing out on your yard and put Dawn soap on it and get it wet and run and slide? Is that what a slideshow is?
Right, like a slip and slide. So this is a great way to put, if you're doing a presentation, you're trying to convince somebody of something, or you've done a history report and you want to share the information you got, or you're trying to convince people of what you're doing, to get them behind your cause. Like say at church, we're having the under one roof drive, right? Where we're trying to raise money and let people know what we're going to do with the money that we raise. A presentation or a slideshow might be a great opportunity to do that. And slides is a great tool for you to get started with that. So you could, why I should get to go to camp, okay? The struggle is real by Sam Martin, right? So I put in a nice title slide. I'm like, you know what? This is kind of boring. Let's punch it up a little bit. I can go over here to some pre-made themes and I'd be like, huh, yeah, that looks a lot better. Okay, cool. And then I use the plus button. Anytime you see a plus button, it's usually something new that you're going to add, okay? So reasons I should go, right? And you can click in here and add in the reasons that you think are going to be compelling, you know, like fresh air, no chores, I like hammocks, okay? Maybe that's what you want to do at camp. Well, I think that's a little small, right? So I'm going to highlight it, and then I can make my words a lot bigger. I can change the word shape or the font. Oh, the lobster looks pretty cool. I can change my word color. Oh, maybe yellow will really make it pop. Yeah, now I think I'll get their attention. But I can make different kinds. I can add different kinds of slides. Let's look into here. Let's do one, and I can add text. So in a title, no, that's not the one I want. I'm gonna highlight this and just hit backspace or delete. Goes away, backspace or delete. Let's add one with a picture. What do you say? Title, body, main point. Here we go. We'll just add one with a caption. And now I want to insert an image. Oh, it'll help me search the web. That's one thing about Google. They are a web searching company, right? So I can go in and be like, kids at camp. Oh, all kinds of cool things. Kids at camp. Yeah, this looks like what I'm trying to do. So I'm going to insert that picture. And just like that, it pulls it over. Now, if you haven't used this before, when you put in pictures or boxes, you see that red line that goes up and down? That tells you centering the picture with the center of your slide. I can grab these handles here, the squares on the corner, and I can move it and it'll expand. Now, if I just grab one here and I drag it, it's going to kind of stretch out. You see how their heads got all weird? Now, if you don't listen to anything else, listen to what I'm about to tell you. Control Z. The control button plus the letter Z is undo. So if you mess something up, oh, I accidentally deleted it. Oh no, what'd I do? Hold the control button and hit Z and it undoes it. I can even undo it another step and go back and quit stretching their heads out. So control Z is a lifesaver, okay? You guys good with control Z? Sylvia, did you know control Z before? You knew control Z? Oh, that was my best trick. I'm gonna have to work harder. All right, so I got slideshows. So then when I want to go present, I click on present and start. And this is where I do my presentation. Hey kids, blah, blah, blah. This is where I want to go. This is a picture of what I might look like when I get to camp, right? And escape. So that's a good way of putting together a presentation. Let's go back to Drive. Any questions so far? Please, I've hidden your faces, so please unmute and say something if you have any questions. Or I'll tell you what, instead of just questions, how about this? Would you guys all unmute and just tell me one thing you like or something that you've used before and But just give me some feedback on the things you've seen so far.
For me personally, I prefer Google products when I'm working with a group because it's easier to work together and see what they have added and what they've taken away than on Microsoft products. But I prefer Microsoft products, their individual work, because they tend to be easier to format in most cases, especially on Word documents versus Google documents. It's a little bit harder to format MLA formatting using a Google document.
Okay, right. Well, and a lot of these products, you know, once Google stole Microsoft's ideas on so many things and put them online and made them shareable and collaborative. Oh, love you, buddy. Microsoft said, "Hey, wait a minute, we can do that too," and they went and made their stuff free and added in the same thing. So they still have a lot of really great stuff, but the features are very similar. But they're better at some things, like their formatting, and the way you build slides and do animations and stuff. Much cooler over on Microsoft. Good input. Blake, I feel like you were going to say something. What's some feedback you've got for me so far?
I just want to say that I use slides a lot for my geography class, and I actually did not know about the undo keys, like the Control Z. I've never used that before. But I've made multiple slide presentations this year for my geography class over certain countries because I have to do presentations every continent. So
yeah, well, yeah, that's wonderful. You know, like I said, displaying knowledge, getting people on board. That's really great. Now I like to say that with presentations, the power is the point, right? Like, I'm only going to put maybe as much as 40 words on the slide, no more. Maybe only 20, maybe only 5, right? One thing that is a mistake a lot of people make is they'll put all their words, they'll type like paragraphs on there, and then they'll just sit there and read to their audience. This is my story about how I'm going to do the thing about the, you know, oh man, you're killing me, Smalls, right? Like, if you're just going to read to them, just put it up there and let them read, okay? Put 3 or 4 bullet points up there and then talk to them about each bullet point. That makes a much better presentation. So when you go to use it, be sure. Hold on. You heading out? Okay. Love y'all.
yeah,
Everybody say bye, Gracie.
Bye, Gracie.
Okay. Cool.
That's what that's what I did on my last couple presentations in geography. I don't really write that much. I mainly just put pictures up on the screen and then I'll just talk about it.
Sure. Because if everything's in words on the slide, what do they need you for? Right? Just publish it and I'll read it and then I'll be as smart as you, right? But if you're the one who's adding brilliance and like opinion and pizzazz, you know, make sure you're bringing that to the presentation through your voice and stuff like that. Hold on. Barky dog to the outside. Okay. Let's see about Allie. I hadn't heard from you, have I?
Okay, so my school is very like Office 365 Microsoft, but if I'm being completely honest, when I have to do a PowerPoint, I use Google Slides and then I download it as a PowerPoint.
That's called a workaround. You do what works for you, right? In technology, man, there's so many ways to skin a cat, right? Don't abuse animals. But the saying goes, there's so many ways to skin a cat. You can do everything a whole lot of different ways. You know, we do a lot of equivalent fractions or equivalent expressions, right? Where you could say 2 times length times width, or you can say length times width plus length times width, right? You can do it 2 different ways. They get you the same place. Which one works better for you and for the reason you're using it? So absolutely, way to go. And you know, if your team is using one, but you want to bring in what you got from the other, do it, upload it. Now you may have some formatting differences, but it's all about workarounds and getting there. Sylvia, what do you think? You use any of these things in your work?
No.
Good answer. Okay. do you use any online tools or any computer tools to to write or to do you have any incorporation, or you just do it all paper pencil? Tell me your story.
Well, I don't use Google anything because my computer has Elena's email signed into it, and if I do anything, it'll change her stuff, and I don't
Okay.
have an email. So yeah, I just use Microsoft
Okay.
Word.
So you use similar products, it's just not Google products, right? Okay. Do you like them? You like doing things like that?
I don't know.
Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for your candor. Hey, anybody, that was a Divergent reference, right? Like, thank you for your candor. Jake the Great, man, how you doing, man?
Good.
You doing well? Do you use any of these products with your schoolwork?
Yes.
Which ones have you used before, and do you like them?
I used all of them.
Okay, wonderful. We'll see if we can push you guys a little bit farther. See, I think I've asked everybody to talk, right? Katie chimed in. Mr. Turner, you got anything? Dr. Turner, do you have anything you'd like to add?
I think I would actually echo what I think Katie said. Maybe it was Allie, about the preference for working using Google when you're in a group setting. The group makes it so easy to share the document. Everybody can be working on it simultaneously, and you're seeing the live updates, and you're not like waiting on somebody to send it back to you so that you have access to it. So that's what I find really beneficial at work, and just being able to use it that way. Also, what I really like is that I can share it and control what other people can do to it. I can make them an editor, I can make them a commenter, or just a viewer. So all they get to do is see it as quick as I update it, and then not actually change anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there's things, that's exactly right. Sometimes I work in a team and I'm like, hey, I want everybody, like, I'm doing the first section, you're doing the second section. Like, we all have our different part, right? Like, actually, if I'm still sharing my screen, no, it's a different one. Yeah, everybody has their own. No, I don't have it there. Everybody has their own part, and everybody needs to be getting their part done kind of at the same time. Like, I don't want to wait for you to do yours and then you email it to me and I'll do my part. That takes forever, right? Especially if one of those people is slow. But I like when everybody can do it. But sometimes I think I've done my best work and I want to get some feedback, right? So let's say Allie has really, done her best on an essay or something. She might share that with Dr. Turner and say, hey, take a look at it. But she doesn't want him going in and like changing her stuff, right? So she can set him to only be a commenter when she shares. And so he can go in and he can highlight this and say, this is phrased a little bit weird, or really great idea. I wish I had some evidence, or something like that, right? So he can add in his thoughts on the side without messing up any of her work. Nobody's ever going to see his stuff. Or like at work, sometimes like there's a schedule that has to go out. I want everybody to see what the schedule is immediately, but I don't need to hear anybody's feedback. I don't need to know that you didn't like the science went before language arts. Who cares? Okay. I need to make sure you can see it when it's time. So you're a viewer only. So yeah, setting those permissions, all those sharing settings are super awesome. Okay. So have any of you ever heard of screencasting before? Screencastify, Screencast-O-Matic, anything like that? Okay. See a couple heads. Katie, what's your understanding of screencasting?
The ability to cast whether they're on your phone or your computer onto a TV or a larger platform for someone to view.
Okay. That is one meaning of the word. That's not the one I'm looking for. Has anybody got a different idea? Okay, cool. So with screencasting, it's not the same thing as simulcasting, where I'm displaying my screen over like my laptop's playing over on the TV. That's not what I'm talking about. So there are some things I'll type in here, like here's Screencastify, SCREE in Screencastify right there. And there's other screencasting ideas like Screencast-O-Matic, I think is a website. But what these do is they allow you to record your screen. Okay, who's seen a YouTube video watching somebody else play a video game or something like that, right? What you're seeing is a recording of that person's video screen with their head stuck over in the corner, right? Okay, so that's screencasting. So whether it's you playing a video game with your head in the corner, or maybe Blake's going through his geography presentation and he has his head in the corner talking, or maybe he doesn't want his head at all. He just wants to show his slideshow and we hear his beautiful voice discussing the topics at hand, right? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, all right? So we're going to go into here and see if I can pull it up. Now, it may be a little, let's see, because I'm in the wrong account here. Let me go over into this account over here. Switch O, change O. I'm going to be myself, but my work self. There we go. Now I'm going to try Screencastify. Screencastify, and it's an extension. It's available in the App Store or the Google Extension Store. If you have a Chromebook, instead of the caps lock button, you have a little magnifying lens. You click on that, and that opens up the App Store. You can get stuff there. Come in. Hold, please. I'll be right back. Hold on, guys. My dog escaped.
Oh no.
Oops.
Come in. Roscoe.
Oh, that's just hilarious.
It is. I mean, probably not for him, but you know, for the rest of us watching him.
Absolutely.
So I must say, with all of this Google stuff, for me, it's been difficult. It's been a learning curve. My kids have actually had to teach me a lot of this, Sam.
Yay.
Yeah.
That's what the whole community idea is already about, right?
Good point.
Taking care of our people. So let's see if I can pull it up. Why is it not popping up here? Should be in my extension. So the the three-dot menu up here at the end of your toolbar. And go to more tools and extensions. And I should see get you guys out of my way real quick. Go down here, Screencastify.
Mr. Sam,
Yeah.
a faster way to get to extensions, you can just hit the little puzzle piece and it brings you right to all your extensions.
This one here?
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
You didn't know you were going to get tips, did you?
And you know what? I've been looking for that pen. Google is one bad thing about Google is they're like, hey guys, on Monday, we're completely going to move a few things around, but don't tell anybody. And they'll just do it. So that's what I wanted. I wanted this guy right here. Who told me that tip?
Allie.
Allie. Thank you, Allie. You're wonderful. Okay, so now I'm going to pull that up. And after you've already installed it, you get this little, please do it. I want you to, so I look smart. Signing in. Taking me, so I've done a lot of these. Okay. In the free version, you get to record for, I think, up to 5 minutes. And you get, I think, 50 recordings in a calendar month. So in 30 days, you can do 50 for up to 5 minutes each. Okay. So my recordings, let's see, go over here. Not my subscription. Oh, it used to be real nice and easy. You just hit it and it's not my recordings. I want to open editor options. Automatically saves to Google Drive or on your device. Backup recording. Golly jeepers. Switch. Oh. Well, I shouldn't have brought out an idea that I wasn't ready to show you right away. No, I don't want to delete all. I want to just go to record another silly thing. Ah, there it is. Haha, that's the control I was looking for. Okay, so this thing, of course, disappears again. this thing will pop up. And this is like, all right, so what do you want to do? I want to do, I could do just my webcam and just show you my beautiful face. I could do the desktop, which is everything. Or if there's just like one tab I want to record, I could do a browser tab. So I'm going to embed my webcam. I'm going to do my desktop. I don't need to worry about drawing tools right now, but I'm going to click record. I should get 3, 2, 1 countdown. Failed to start. Oh, come on, guys. I'll try it one more time, and then if so, I'm just going to walk away from it. Okay. Well, I probably have to update it because I haven't used it in a little bit. But let me show you an example of what I have done with it. Let's see. My account. I'll tell you, let's go into my drive, D-R-I-V-E.
While you do that, Sam, and you look, do you want to see if they have any questions?
Yes, if you have any questions, please go ahead and chime in. So sorry for the dead time here, guys.
You're fine. What about your favorite Google product that you've used? Anybody have a favorite one?
Mine?
Anyone. What's yours, Sam?
Oh, I don't have one. I was going to say, I'm always jumping from one to the other, to the other, to the other. So I have many, many, many different good ones.
Anybody else have one?
I think
Google
that
Drive.
Same. Mine is also Google Drive. I like it over the Microsoft version of OneDrive because it's just easier to organize. But what I was gonna also add was that on PowerPoint you can also record like a video like of you talking, but this one seems to be a lot more multi-purpose and not just inside of PowerPoint, which is cool.
Right. So here I think is a video I did. It's just a short one. I'm going to pop in here and hopefully it'll just give us the idea. So this is one, and it was saved into my Google Drive. Oh, put some sound on. And I'm here to tell you about what it's like here at East Lake Academy. At East Lake Academy, we have a population of around 600 students. That may seem like a lot, but there's actually more students at East Ridge Elementary, which has almost 1,200 students. Here at East Lake Academy, there are slightly more Hispanic students than there are Black students, but it's important to remember that there are a few white students as well. Okay, so what that was a PowerPoint presentation I put together, and it was about the demographics of East Lake Academy for their social studies program. And, you know, that was, to be honest with you, that was a bad take. I did not do a good job. And that's why it's only 44 seconds, because then I took it down and I did it again. And that's the beautiful thing about this. So I could use the drawing tool. So while I was talking, I highlighted the important information I wanted my viewers to see. I can go through and I can have my pictures there. I can show videos there. So anything I want to do, and then I can record it. And then as it's all together as a video, I can put that video anywhere. I could do another one. So I could embed that in a website. I could share that link to somebody. I could, I can really get it out there. So I don't have to always be present with my computer to show somebody my slideshow. So that's a thought. Again, it screencastifies this one, which I haven't done a great job of showing, but, or like I said, screencast-o-matic. Anything with the word screencast in it is going to do this job. Again, if you've seen people on YouTube where they're showing you a video or something with their little floating head in the corner, that's what they're doing. So anything you can see somebody else doing, you can do it too. Maybe you shouldn't, but you can. Okay. All right. I was going to pull up a couple other things, but I know we were asking questions. Was there anything else anybody wanted to say about their favorite tools before I go further? Okay.
Mine I
So-
wanted to share really fast, Sam, is OneNote.
OneNote with
Mhm.
Microsoft? Yeah. I don't use it a lot
No, the
myself.
Google version of it. I'm sorry. What's the Google version of it called?
Google Keep.
Google Keep, that
Keep.
one.
Yes.
That's my favorite one.
And I use that one a lot on my phone, especially grocery lists or if I'm going to Home
Mhm.
Depot and stuff like that. So I'll go ahead and jump to that one. I don't know if that's available through the more down here. It might be. But again, who remembers how I told you the products were listed? If I want to try and find something, I know the name of it's Keep. How would I find it? Jake, do you know what I would type in? Looking for Google Keep. What would I type in? Anybody?
You would put keep.google.com, but it can also, if you go back to
Google.com. So, and there we go. Again, it's productname.google.com. And this is a lot. Atticus's cow joke. I keep all kinds of things in here. Knock, knock. Who's there? Milk. Milk who? The cow right in front of you, of course. I mean, this kind of gold you don't want to lose. So I have a lot of stuff in here that I put in. Chore money. Oh, I got to pay her that. I got checklists, things I need to do. I can click off. I can take pictures of things and write over top of it like, oh, this would be a great thing I write a mini grant for, right? So it's basically sticky notes that I can keep together. Youth group to do, get Wi-Fi password, set up attendance in and out form. Yeah, all kinds. So Keep is awesome. Also, if you have it on your phone, you can take pictures. And it'll, I think, oh, if you took a picture like a business card, it'll automatically rip the text out of the picture and paste it into, like, you don't have to retype it. You don't have to put a picture in it, but it can remove the typing from something and paste it into your note for you. So that's really cool. That was one thing I was going to get. Oh, I know what I was going to do next. Sites, Google Sites. If you have it, Google Sites. So some of you might, like Blake, you might want to do more than a PowerPoint presentation. Maybe you want to organize, like, what would a website on sub-Saharan Africa look like, right? Maybe you want to put that together. Well, Google Sites is an awesome way that you can do it. And to be honest with you, you can have it as a website without putting it on the web. You don't have to publish it out there for anybody to see. So you can keep it completely safe and in-house, okay? Or you can put it out in a link that only people who have that link can look at. So maybe just your teacher or some of your classmates. Or if it's the appropriate thing, you can put it out there in the World Wide Web where people can search for it. But in Google Sites, you know, this can be your Africa website. Right? Nice and easy. And again, the site name, My Africa site. Okay. And it'll suck it up right there. Whatever you type in here will pop up there. Now you can put in text boxes. So maybe I want to do a heading here. And you can insert images. This is all under the insert tab up here. I can insert images. Let's see, I want to select something. So I can search the web. I can look for a Google image right here. Let's see. I can upload things that I already have. I can add more pages. I can change the layout of what I want to do. So here I can add text to images and things right here. But this is the cool thing. If you have these little handles here, you can move them around. So I want this to be up here. And now my heading is below it. All right. I can move these things. And you see those vertical lines that go up and down? So if I want to center things, I can move them lined up with those center lines. So it makes it all real neat. One other thing I like here is I can preview it, because websites look different. This is what it looks like on a large screen, a laptop or computer. But what would it look like on an iPad? What would it look like on a cell phone? So your formatting might look a little different from one to the other, but you can go through and click your preview to see what those are. So you can really quickly drag and drop. I made the website for the, let's see if I can find it, Ladies of Charity. Ladies of Charity, Chattanooga. Let's see, Facebook. Well, I had it in here. Let's see if their website pops up. Yeah, here's their Ladies of Charity website. I made it on Google Sites. And so they have their sale of the week. They have directions. They have pictures of their own people out there. They have maps that you can add in. All kinds of cool stuff. Go to their different pages, find their history. And again, these are things that you might use to see. Do we have any getting ready to be a college student? Anybody out there? Yes. Oh, a couple of you. So maybe if you wanted, you can fill out a college application and you can say, hey, this is cool. This is something about me. But you might put in a link to, hey, here's a website that shows my artwork, or here's pictures that show me playing soccer, or here's pictures of me, I don't know, climbing Mount Everest, whatever the different things that are about you that you want to display that don't necessarily fit into an application, you could give them a link to your website on there, right? And there's all kinds of things you can put out there. I think that's all those products I was going to do. The only other thing I think I was going to show you was the flashcards. Y'all said you've seen Quizlet before, is that right? I'm going to pull it up here just so it's on the recording. But Quizlet online flashcards, let me tell you, I'm really proud of my daughter's class, because when they have a big social studies unit to come up, they'll divide it and they'll say, okay, it's Katie's turn to take sections 1 through 3, and it's Mary Margaret's turn to take 4 through 5, and they'll read their sections, and then they take their notes and turn them into flashcards and share them with everybody else in the class. So everybody gets to learn with the study tool, and only one kid had to create it or work hard and do it. And that's not they're not getting a grade for it, right? They're not, it's not an assignment, but they're helping each other. And once it's done, if they wanted to share it with next year's kids, they could do that too. So Quizlet is a great online flashcard site, and you can put definitions on one side and terms on the other, or however you want to do it. Art and artists, right? All kinds of stuff. Anything you can imagine a flashcard going for. I believe there's different match games. Has anybody used Quizlet in a different way? Katie, you're nodding your head. Tell me what you think.
I've played it a bunch of different ways. You can do it like the classic, like you ask you a question and you answer. There's fill in the blank ones. There's matching games. There's like this weird one. I haven't done this in a while, but there was a weird one where it had a rocket ship, and you had to to make the rocket ship launch, you had to get so many correct answers. But it's a pretty cool platform.
So it gamifies flashcards a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Allie, yes, ma'am.
In math class, we did Quizlet Live, which is where we got in teams and had to answer the questions correctly.
Okay, was that kind of like a competition?
Yeah, we got extra credit points for it if we won.
Nice. Great. So all in all, I guess that's the end of the products I came to share with you. I guess some of the big things that I would summarize and say is learn tools that will help you collaborate and work with other people. Through technology, we're able to magically bend the bounds of time and space, right? You don't have to be in the same place with the right person at the same time, okay? You can work synchronously, which is what we're doing right now. We're in sync with each other. Or you can work asynchronously, where I go in and do my thing and disappear, and somebody else comes in and does their thing and they disappear, okay? It's capable. Microsoft versus Google, do what works for you. Find the tools that are going to make your job easier. But also, stay curious. Get out there and look around, find out what other people are doing, right? See, ask questions. Look around and keep trying to get better, because you can easily get bored with doing the same thing the same way over and over and over. And if you see something that's cool, stop and ask somebody. If you can't ask the person that did it on the video or whatever, ask somebody else to look at it and say, hey, do you know how they did that? How can I do that? Okay? And always ask questions. And more than anything, the one thing I'll leave you with is, if you want to learn how to do something, Google it. Google it. That's what Google's for. Google was just the name of a company, but now it's a verb. Why? Because that's what people do. They look things up all the time. There's a YouTube video that covers it. I promise you, it doesn't matter what you want. You want to change the water pump in your car, or you want to know when to use the Oxford comma? Google it. Somebody will tell you how to do it. Okay? Have fun, kids. Keep trying. If there's ever anything I can do, you know how to get a hold of me. I'm sam77martin@gmail.com. Please feel free to send me an email. I'm sorry I'm nowhere you can like or subscribe, but I like signing off just as if I was. So rise up, have a great day, and thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Sam, for everything. We greatly appreciate your time and the information you shared with us tonight. And guys, make sure that if you do have any questions, you jotted down that email address. I know that Sam would be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. And right on time, Sam, good job. We will end with that. And
I'm glad that part got on tape. Right on time, Sam.
That's awesome. So next week we have trauma on the brain, and why it doesn't have to be your, I'm trying to figure out how to word this the way I worded it on here, but it's, everyone has a past, right? And everyone has something in their past that has probably been not sunshine and rainbows, right? We all have bad things that happen, and everything that's bad that has happened to you affects your brain in certain ways. So Miss Jenny Landreth is going to come on next week, and she's going to share with us why different things affect our brain, how they affect them, and how we can overcome those things. So come back next week, learn about your brain. And I will say good night to everyone, and thank you very much. And thank you again, Mr. Martin, for your time tonight.
Bye-bye. Have a good
Bye,
day.
everyone.